Okay,
We are.
we are. Or are we?
Or are we? We always were.
Okay, then. Okay, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Guilty Pleasures of Living, part one, which is pain or pleasure. What would you choose? And
Pleasure.
I bring to you, of course, always.
Always.
And I bring to you the most wonderful, beautiful, powerful, potent, and extremely beautiful Shivam Saxena.
Thank you, Isha, for going on this adventure with me.
Yeah.
How does it get better than that? And I still keep thinking about the whole pain and pleasure part of it. And so, can I ask you, being the creative anchor of this conversation, do you want to talk about where the guilty factor of pain
Yeah.
and pleasure of living?
Yes, absolutely. So the topic, the guilty pleasures of living in itself is so interesting and so intriguing to me personally, because it's like, okay, so because you asked me to talk about guilty first, so I'll go there. Guilty. So guilt is actually just a big lie. And we've all probably heard this a lot by now, that it's a massive distractor implant. Guilt is just a distractor implant, and it's a big lie. And I know a lot of us who, when guilt is taking over, it doesn't feel like it's a lie, it feels very real in that moment. But which is why I think this information is so essential, that there is nothing required to guilt yourself over, because there's guilt requires a parameter of right and wrong, which in itself is such a it's such a insane point of view to function from, because it requires you to constantly judge yourself based on someone else's scale of measurement.
Yeah. And it kind of just takes you away from really actually living
Yes.
the whole joy of living with it. And so, and what is the pain aspect? That I love the way you kind of put you were describing the other day about people choosing, people would rather choose pain than. So what are the options? What are people choosing? What do you get people are choosing?
So one of the things I recognized very recently is one of the things of doing more access is more pleasure.
Yeah, that's true.
you know, and pleasure is not just sex, contrary to popular belief. Pleasure is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most pleasurable elements and energies to embody today. And pleasure is also a smile.
Yeah, pleasure is to be you.
Oh, yes,
You know,
yes.
the painful
Without having to guilt yourself.
without having to feel guilty about being you.
Yeah.
Like, wait, am I being too much? That's usually like the place where I always have this whole guilt undertone. Am I being too much? Am I being too much? Should I be less? And and I think just that whole thing, that the pain of guilt actually.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing is pain is actually not true, because one of the things that I've heard Gary and Dane say a lot is if anything that comes and goes,
Yeah,
it's not yours.
it's not yours.
Pain is something that comes and goes all the time. So, if someone is looking for an evidence of pain not being their reality, here it is. And pain is something that we use to camouflage what is actually true underneath, which is the pleasure of living, what is true for you. Because when you're actually being the pleasure of embodying the joy of being alive, with having that one bite of delicious cake that lights up your body, walking on grass,
Yeah,
whatever it may be for you.
and yeah, and the me time, they are the ones that are the actually. It's so funny that those are things that people, or this reality kind of gives us pain for, rather than let us have that pleasure of living. Yeah.
Say more.
So, well, yeah, it's so funny. Like, really, we have the phrase, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. And I've seen, like, and humanoids, they tend to actually bring themselves down if they are being too painful for others. And how are they being too painful for others when they are not worried, when they know that the coronavirus is not going to be something that is going to stop them? Or, I mean, I know that in my building, I have so many senior residents incidentally living in my building, and everybody is like so afraid of whole coronavirus thing. And every week I keep getting notices from them that you were seen walking in the building compound without mask. You did this. You have too many house staff, coming in, and blah blah blah. And I keep get yeah, and actually, then the thing is, are you willing to be okay with causing pain to others, even if that means having a life that you have chosen for yourself?
Wow.
you know
Right
and
from the bad pot pork online shows boys and beyonds.
yeah, and really, like, the pleasure of living, like, are you willing to let yourself have the pleasure of choice, like how Isha was saying? The pleasure is not just like, people say, like, about sex or drugs or party, like, I don't know how Delhi is, but Mumbai,
This is also Delhi and Bombay.
right, exactly, like Delhi and Bombay is like, oh my god, if they are not partying, they really think, I don't know what they think. It's kind of like a, as if somebody's called a jihad on them or something. And it's like, hey guys, like, you could just be happy without the Saturday night fever as well. And that's the thing, is like, so many people who are actually truly the pleasure seekers, how many of them actually go seek pleasure in what they think, like, everybody's enjoying. Like, I remember, like, uh, everybody in Mumbai, or everybody around, people are like just so crazy about going to Goa. And and this may just be me, okay, but like, every time I go to Goa, and I'm like, this place is very, very slow for me. This place is, the lethargy in that place, like, kind of like, I don't enjoy. But then for me, like, but then that may just be me. But I just want to, like, ask people, like, how many people actually go seeking pleasure, and then they go with, what others have said, hey, go do this, and this is great, and then they actually come back like, like, I don't feel that great. I don't know what the big fuss is about, you know. And rather than looking at, like, how you were saying, Isha, like, the pleasure of kindness and the pleasure of choice and pleasure of gratitude. Could you talk more about the pleasure of gratitude and kindness?
Absolutely, always. Oh my God. Pleasure of kindness and gratitude is something that every being on this planet embodies. If you think that you do not embody it, you're probably lying to yourself,
Yeah,
because that is not a reality. That is not your reality. It's something that all of us be in
yeah,
actuality, but we start to buy these points of views from other people, whether we look at someone else and we compare ourselves to what, that's something that is just a killer.
yeah,
Comparison is another type of pain that takes a pleasure of being you that you were talking about away from you.
yeah. Oh,
Comparison,
yeah. Oh, say more about the comparison thing.
so it's like comparison is not a kindness to yourself.
Yeah,
It's not being kind to you, and it's definitely not asking for more likeness to show up in your world, because comparison will just lead to more heaviness, which is more pain.
yeah.
Kindness and actually being the beauty that you be with the difference of you, is pleasure.
It's pleasure.
It is one of the most pleasurable things to be in, on the planet, to be, whether you're someone who is, and it's not, pleasure has nothing to do with the image of you. Let me just put that out there. it's it's not about how you look, it's not about how you speak, it's not about how you present yourself. Those are all
Yeah.
those have nothing to do with pleasure. Pleasure comes from the spaces of the being that you be. being interesting point of view is one of the most pleasurable energies to be around.
Yeah. It's like the pain of alignment, agreement, and resistance and reaction. Like so many people actually get caught in the pain of conflict. Um, and as if through struggle or through conflict, they'll find something that is worth living for. And whereas, really, I love Gary Douglas' question of is that relevant? And so I love asking that question with everything. And then I'm like, that's when like I actually it makes me smile and gives me so much pleasure is like when it just dawns on me, wow, when I ask like, wow, is this relevant? Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that's so cool. Like, and now like what if you could have start choosing from based on what is relevant for you, what is relevant to the future you would like to have, relevant to the future you would like to have in the world, um, you know and that is just such a different conversation.
That is really beautiful. So beautiful. So let me ask you a question here. Do you think just another
We did
question.
not prepare for this, but okay.
Candid conversation. We said it would be candid.
I didn't know candid applied to me. Okay.
I'm being totally candid too. Hey.
That's the way.
So, according to you, do you think pleasure is an antidote to pain? Like when we say gratitude is an antidote to judgment,
Yeah,
would you say pleasure is an antidote to pain?
that is so good. Like I wouldn't have said it until you put it in those words, and and I really love it. And I'm like, yes, but I can't take credit for it because you said it. And it's so cool. Yes, that is so light. Like, pleasure is such an antidote to pain. And what if like we could have that as a platform for living? You know? Yes. Oh, that was such a good one. Ask me more questions. Ask me more. Ask me more. This is good.
Awesome. Good to know. Thank you.
Oh my
So,
God.
so yeah, go on.
Thank you for being the brains of the show. It just gives you such a pleasure of, wow, just enjoying. And I love that. Thank you.
Thank you for being the energy that takes it where it goes. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure was mine.
Awesome. So what, according to you, like, what is it on this planet? Even pleasure is something that heals the planet more than pain ever does, right? Laughter heals the planet more than pain ever can.
Yeah.
So if you had to give people like a takeaway from here about completely candid takeaway about, you know, three tools. I don't want to say ways, but like three ways they can embody pleasure more than pain that also heals the planet. And one of the things is when you heal the planet, you heal people you've never even met physically who are living
Yeah.
on the planet, which is such a beautiful energy, which is contribution.
Yeah.
And I think right now, especially, pleasure is so essential with
Yeah.
everything that's going on the planet. So
Yeah.
what, according to you, like if you had to, take this forward and like tell people and share tools to like be able to have more pleasure, what would you say?
I I would say one thing is laugh. Really, like sense of humor. Have a sense of humor. I even situations where it's like, laughter is like very. I remember as a kid in boarding school. First of all, I had this thing of a nervous laughter. When I got nervous, I used to laugh. Okay, so
I do that.
right, and that got me so much trouble. And then I remember, like if anything intense used to happen, I used to always I used to always be like, it's okay, I know there's going to be a time when I'm going to look back at it and laugh. So then I used to in my head, in my imagination, or whatever way, I used to connect to the time in the future where I would laugh over it. And that would like make me go, okay, you know. So it's like, what if all of us have that awareness of a possibility that, yes, instead of making it significant, whatever it is, and then, like, what if we could just remember or ask, like, okay, what is a sense of humor here? Or where can I find my sense of humor? You know, where can I find my laughter? Like, I love asking that one question. Like, okay, where did my laughter go? Like, where can I find my laughter? Where can I find my sense of humor? Because I think for me, being able to laugh, um, being able to, and most of the times the jokes are on me, like, because, it's otherwise, it's just safer that way rather than putting it on someone else and then like, oops, I offended them. So, but like, just that being able to laugh is just such a pleasure and joy of embodiment and having a life, you know. And I know you asked for three tools, but I think I kind of covered them in this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
What is it for you? Like, what are the tools for you? Like, um,
I think laughter is such an essential tool. So I would have definitely stated that, to start with too, because laughter heals the planet more than anything can. And your body is the planet. It will heal your body. It will heal the planet more than anything can. And in moments you feel like you lost the laughter, you don't know where to find it. Watch things that make you laugh.
yeah, Netflix or
Yes,
something.
yes, just watch anything. And we're not tuned, no one ever tells us to be aware of the things we find funny.
I know. Yeah,
you know
as if again, laughter is something pain. It's like, yeah, you can't have the joy of laughter, your own laughter.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. And it's like you will you will get more and more aware of what makes you laugh. And it'll show up again. All it'll do is it'll poke the molecules in your world that are sleeping to wake up again.
to wake up again. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other tool I would say is movement, hugely.
Oh yeah, body movement. Yes.
So it's like move however your body would like to move. Yoga, kickboxing, I
Dancing.
dancing, running, play a sport.
Yeah. And please know, like, sleeping can be a body movement too. You just have to ask your body, like, what movement would you like today or now? You know. And but yeah, and what's the third tool? I love this.
Um, I think the third tool would be
Pleasure.
what is the beautiful energy underneath this?
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Because anything that shows up as a problem is actually a pain, right? It's a pain. It's an intensity that is showing up as a pain in your world.
Yeah,
And that is always a lie. There's always a beautiful energy underneath a pain.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
There's always a possibility. There's always a beautiful energy, and truly, like, yeah. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Yeah,
so like ask for the beauty underneath the pain to show up. That's the pleasure that will show up. And you do not have to go looking for it.
you do exactly. That's the thing. You don't have to go looking for it. It's there with you. It's there. Like, you just, all you have to do is just ask. Just ask that one question. That is so amazing. Wow. I love doing this with you, Isha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
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 So, this is us.
We have a few. I was just gonna say yes to what you were saying. Yeah, we have a few more conversations that we would like to invite people to, and really, we would like to know what is the pleasure that you're looking for, and what gives you pleasure in life, and what are the pain areas in your life. And we'll probably see you again, like a couple of days or something like that, when we have the pleasure of seeing you.
And we will bring a completely different topic around, the guilty pleasures of living to you to talk about, because it's time we got over the guilt and
Yeah,
start actually enjoying the joy of being alive.
joy of being alive. You know, it all just comes to that. How does it get better than that? And truly, like, what are the infinite possibilities here?
Truly, truly. Yay. Awesome. Okay, then.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this, and see you soon.
See you soon. And thank you guys for joining us. We love you, and I hope we will see you soon next time on our next live.
Bye. Mwah.